Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the Inside Winston Cup Racing. I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina at the Penske South race team, home of the Miller Genuine Draft Fords, which are driven by Rusty Wallace in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Of course, Rusty was at the New Hampshire International Speedway this afternoon for the running of the Slick 5300. And Bill Weber is in our studios in Charlotte, North Carolina with the post-race report. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening, Ned, and hello, everyone. New week, same winner. Jeff Gordon is undefeated in the month of July. Today, his 5th win of the season, and he recaptures the lead in the chase for the Winston Cup Championship. Coming up, we'll have a look at the highlights and hear from the race winner. Also tonight, Rusty Wallace takes us to the Miller Brewing Company. Rusty is the driver and part owner of his team, but it's the sponsor he really wants to keep happy. We'll have a look at the company behind the crew of car number 2. It's all ahead on the post-race edition of IWCR for Sunday, July 9th. Today's show is brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. Red Dog Beer, bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. Today's Winston Cup highlights are brought to you by Texaco Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car. In qualifying for the Slick 5300 on Friday, Jeff Gordon tagged the wall. He was 40th after the first round. He earned the 21st starting spot when he was the fastest car in second-round qualifying. Then, final practice got rained out. So guesswork and guts were part of the DuPont team's setup this Sunday. A gamble rewarded with a first-place finish, the Winston Cup points lead, and a hefty $50,000 bonus. Mark Martin took the field to the green flag and battled Jeff Gordon up front through the first 100 laps. The first caution came early, collecting Dale Jarrett and sending Jeff Bodine to the penalty box. Jimmy Hensley spanked the wall on lap 37 for the second caution, sending drivers scrambling to pit road. Jeff Gordon made a 2-tire stop, picking up track position. Gordon led on the restart until Martin charged by, with Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace carving their way through the crowd. Martin led a round of green flag stops beginning on lap 113. Then on lap 150, caution number 4, a multi-car incident that included Jeff Bodine, Jeff Burton, Todd Bodine, and Bobby Labonte. The green returned on lap 154, and Earnhardt, who had started 18th, gunned his Goodwrench Chevy into the lead. Wallace started 20th and fought his way around Earnhardt, but Dale did not surrender the lead easily, and Rusty had to relinquish the point. Then, when Ward Burton whacked the wall for caution number 5, Wallace pitted for fresh tires while most of the leaders stayed out. The green came out on lap 170 with Earnhardt leading and Gordon second, while Wallace was desperately trying to work his way through traffic. Gordon's powerful DuPont Chevrolet zoomed back into the lead, while points leader Sterling Marlin ran inside the top 10, swapping spots with Terry Labonte. Green flag stop shuffled the field with 80 laps remaining. First Martin on lap 222. Earnhardt followed a few laps later, but twice he had to return to pit road. First for loose lug nuts, then for tires, dropping Dale to 23rd. Once again, Gordon had another good stop and stretched the lead to nearly 10 seconds. But then Jeff Bodine brought out the caution with just over 30 laps left. The leaders dashed to the pits, most taking 2 tires and setting the stage for a charge to the checkers. The green flew with 25 to go. Gordon leading, Morgan Shepherd second. But once Jeff was able to shake free from traffic, he was untouchable. His Chevy slithered away, Gordon shot to the finish and won for the second straight week. The Gatorade folks put up the extra 50 grand for the point leader after the 16th race. Jeff and the guys can add that to the 100,000 they picked up after Talladega. And there's another 100,000 on the line for the point leader following the Brickyard 400. That's one day after Jeff Gordon's 24th birthday. Gordon said starting 21st would be a solid test for this crew, a test his DuPont team passed.
I guess so, with flying colors. You know, I knew we were going to be good. The car was good, but I really had no idea how good everybody else was going to be. And you know, I tell you, this is big for this team. That means a lot to them. They're going to go into every race, whether we're down, whether we're up. They're going to say, hey, we can do it no matter what happens. And you know, we came back yesterday and qualified 21st, and that was the start of rebuilding. And I'm very proud of these guys and this team. They had to do a lot and overcome a lot to get me to the front, and you know, we couldn't have done it if we weren't a great team.
Yeah, the only time we saw the car sideways all weekend was during qualifying. Did you and Ray work real hard to keep it hooked up, or was it consistent all day?
Well, it got sideways on me a couple times when I was trying to run down Mark and get to the front, and I was overdriving the car. As soon as I calmed down, and I overdrove the car in qualifying. That's why I hit the wall. And as soon as I calmed myself down and got a pace going, man, the thing was just getting faster and faster and faster. So I learned a lot today too.
I'm really lucky to be part of these teams. These guys are making heroes out of me. We got a great sponsor, owner, and driver, and things are just clicking. The other day when we crashed, we said, you know, it's going to show us what we're made of, what we do on Sunday, not what we did today. So it shows what this, you know, group of guys is made out of, and you know, I'm just so proud to be part of it. I can't tell you. And I want to say hi to Rick. He's home watching us, and I told you we were going to have a good day last night, boss, and we had a pretty good day.
The 24 car was strong all day, but I tell you what, the Citgo Thunderbird just kept gaining and gaining, and it seems like through turn one I could gain on him a little bit, but I couldn't gain anywhere else, and I was just trying different lines, and we just couldn't come up with anything. I feel almost like we won the race, the way things have been going for us, so this is a big turnaround.
Real good run for the Valvoline Cummins team. That was about all we could muster. We were real good the first half, but as the sealer wore off the racetrack, the setup kind of changed, and our car started getting a little bit tight, and there wasn't anything I could really do to it. We tried to do some things, and we just couldn't get it spectacular in the second half, so we'll settle for third today.
Well, race number 16 is in the books. Today, I think we really saw what Jeff Gordon is made of, coming from 21st to take the lead here in the Slick 5300. Goes on to win his 5th Winston Cup race of 1995. He's getting stronger as the season grows longer. What can the rest of the competition do with him? Not a whole lot right now, but they're going to go get him again next week at Pocono. Seems though everyone has to be gunning for Jeff Gordon, now the new Winston Cup points leader. Bill, that's a wrap from here in Loudon, New Hampshire.
Okay, Randy, thanks a lot. Now, the next stop for the Winston Cup Series is Pocono next Sunday. The Unical Challenge will be worth more than $110,000. Jeff Bodine is the defending champ, and of course, we'll have the warm-up for you at 11 a.m. next Sunday morning right here on Inside Winston Cup Racing. Now, we'll head back to Ned Jarrett at the home of Penske Racing in just a moment. First, a look at the rest of the rundown from today's action in Loudon, New Hampshire. And congratulations to Jeff Gordon, the winner of the Slick 50 300. Inside Winston Cup Racing continues in just a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. Rusty Wallace and the Miller Genuine Draft team are not having the kind of year that they would hope for. By some people's standards, it wouldn't be too bad. They already have one victory and have been climbing in the Winston Cup point standings, but this team is accustomed to winning 6, 8, and sometimes 10 races per year. I predict that in the second half of the year that they're going to be much more competitive than they were in the first half of the year. You know, there's more to this sport than building cars here in the race shop, taking them to the track and qualifying and then racing on Sunday. There's a business end to it also. And recently, Rusty Wallace made a trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is headquarters for the Miller Brewing Company, his sponsor, and he allowed some of our guys to go along, and we thought it might be of interest to you.
It was just an average Tuesday for Rusty Wallace, arriving early at his private hangar in Concord, North Carolina, phoning into a morning radio show to promote an appearance the following day in Florida, then checking the weather before departing in his personal plane for the trip to Milwaukee. The traveling party included Rusty, business partner Don Miller, fellow Ford driver Dick Trickle, and pilot Bill Brooks. But on this trip, it was Rusty at the controls, with Brooks by his side, as we taxied down the runway and took off for our 2.5-hour trip to Milwaukee. At the brewery, Rusty met with CEO Jack McDonough, a casual get-together that included business spiced with humor. If this is the team behind Rusty that you see, This is the team behind him that you don't see.
Well, our attitude is that we have race fans out there who like to drink beer, and our best way of rewarding those race fans who drink Miller beer is to show great Miller Racing products out there that they can cheer for. And so it's been a terrific link-up with Rusty Wallace and his NASCAR team to have a high-quality team that looks great and wins and thrills the race fans. And it's sort of our way of thanking the race fans for drinking Miller Genuine Draft. They get to watch a great team.
After a business lunch in the company cafeteria, it was time for a speedy lap around the office just to say hi and make certain no one has forgotten you.
Mike Wolf, I know this guy.
Holy smokes. Hey, man.
Hi, buddy.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Good to see you, man.
You're all wired up.
Where's my picture?
Yeah, find one quick. What's happening, man?
What do we do? What a deal.
At the racetrack, it's easy to find Rusty's Ford, a rolling reminder of his favorite beer. But like all sponsors, it's critical to reinforce the relationship at the point of sale.
Remember the program we did in Indiana, where people can win the chance to have a jacket autographed by you?
This is the deal we did for all the racing in Indiana, right?
Right,
Yeah,
Bobby
that's great.
and Larry Dixon. So once we get done, there's a few jackets that need your John Hancock on it. So we traded the gloves for the jackets.
That's all right.
Few things to sign.
Oh, Kelly, I can't wear all this at one time.
This is for that promotion in Indiana, and everybody wants a jacket signed by Rusty.
Okay. Well, wonderful. I'll do it.
This is your chair. Have at it.
All right. Flew all the way to Milwaukee to sign these jackets. What the deal was. Hey, Steve, did you get Ray Hall to do this? Did he do it? No way.
Racing is Rusty's business, and on weekends, this is his office, where he hopes to win races and make headlines. In Milwaukee, this is the office where they keep track of those headlines, measuring Miller's mileage in black and white.
Is this all on NASCAR or all on me?
This is, it varies between, we've split it up between Rusty articles, name and title race articles,
right?
But they've all got Miller mentions.
And mentions.
And mentions. They all mention Miller, or show a photo, like these ones over here.
Okay.
They'll have you have your photo in from wins. And then we do it for IndyCar and drag racing, and we start doing it for Kenny and Red Dog now, too.
And while Rusty meets with management to discuss plans for the future, part of the plan is already unfolding 2 floors below.
I wanted to call you and go over what we've got going on, kind of an update for the Miller Junior Draft 400 in Richmond.
Okay.
Since September 9th is going to be upon us pretty quickly.
Now, Rusty's visit to Miller also included this mandatory pit stop, so he could load up on some of the brewery's newest business tools.
I've got Flint Black, okay? Brooks and Dunn, like that band. Page Plant, really like that band. 3 shirts. It's my prized possession so far. Carry my hair dryer, my portable iron, and this baby. A black bag, just like this one. This is what I feel like I'm at the breweries, you know, I snoop around and get all the free stuff, you know.
Rusty Wallace knows that behind the desk and on the track, this entire team is working hard for 2 reasons. One is the reward of winning races, and the other?
Sell Miller Genuine Draft, sell Miller products as a whole, and I think it does a really good job for us. All of our distributors, all of our customers, and ultimately the final consumer that follows racing has an affinity to what we're doing with all of our promotional programs, all of our advertising, trying to drive the message home that we support the sport that they like, and hopefully entail that turns into sales for us.
Yeah, it's definitely the other side of the racing business. It's this is what makes it happen. I've told people for a long time, and I've told all the NASCAR people, that I think that people like this are the people completely responsible for making NASCAR what it is today. I mean, 10 years ago, they weren't, you didn't see national television ads on television promoting a team that's involved in NASCAR and showing the tracks. People just didn't understand the sport. And by the media, television, radio, newspapers, they're actually doing a lot of things for NASCAR. Those people really realize it. But this wasn't near as hot a sport as it is now. And now I think it's really going to surpass baseball, football, and a lot of major ball and stick sports.
Last year, Santa brought Rusty a lifetime personal services contract, securing his future with Miller. Now, you might think Wallace faces added pressure to perform, but that isn't part of the package.
If I had a sponsor that put pressure on me to perform, yeah, maybe there'd be some pressure. It'd be tense. But these guys aren't like that. I've won a lot of races. Now, there are some unfortunate individuals out there that are coming up in their career. They've got good sponsors, and the sponsors are new to the sport, and they really don't understand the sport like Miller does. And man, sometimes I feel like those guys are driving around with a gun to their head, perform or you're out, and they've got a lot of pressure on them. I don't have that.
I always preach to our folks that we need to have our racing program successful before he takes the track. All the things we're doing to try and sell beer, the advertising, the promotions, the radio advertising and programs happen 3 weeks, 4 weeks out from the race. So when Sunday hits, we hopefully have sold the products that we're going to sell in and around that program. Obviously, if he wins, it's a great bonus because we get the play on newspapers and television and everywhere else, and the excitement builds for the next race. But it's, like I said, it's a nice to have, but certainly not something that we count on all the time.
Now, when Rusty's not working for Miller here, you might find him here on the set, promoting the company's anti-drinking and driving campaign, along with some other rather famous chauffeurs.
Not only is he great on the track and great with our distributors, but we also involve him in a series of responsible drinking and driving commercials that is a great help because it's important for the fans to understand that while we're sponsoring a great race car driver like Rusty, Rusty is a responsible driver, and we want all of our fans to be responsible drivers also. And drinking and driving is something that we don't want to promote.
So you can see Rusty's fast pace on the track transcends his everyday life. Whether it's on the ground or in the air, Rusty Wallace is always on the move.
I'm constantly doing something, but when I go home, I walk in the house, Patty brings me a Miller, I'll sit down, we'll have a beer, I'll watch TV, and I'll get done with my favorite TV program or whatever, I go, what's next? I'll go to bed. I go to bed and I wake up. Now what I do? Oh, I leave and go to shop. So I've got to be doing something the whole time. And I can't stop and just quit and just pull the throttles completely back and relax. It's just not me. And so I'm caught up in that loop where you got to go, go, go. And I don't know when I'll ever quit, but I enjoy it.
The day concluded with a 2-hour appearance in Milwaukee where Rusty joined Dick Trickle, Elton Sawyer, and Butch Miller on behalf of Ford. Then finally the limo ride back to the airport, and at 9:30 at night, the 2.5-hour flight home to Charlotte.
Okay, let's see. It's tired and I'm getting late. It's late, I'm getting tired.
Hope you enjoyed that. Race fans normally don't get to see that, but believe you me, without the great sponsors we have in the sport of auto racing, we would not see the high level of competition we see week in and week out. Now let's take a look at what's coming up next week right here on Inside Winston Cup Racing.
Last July, tires told the tale when the Winston Cup Series made its second stop at Pocono. Jeff Bodine is still looking for his first win of 1995. He'll defend his title at the Miller Genuine Draft 500. We'll have the pre-race report.
It's been a year of Chevrolet dominance and record finds. Next week, we'll begin a 2-part conversation with the series director, Gary Nelson. He's the man making the calls as NASCAR struggles to bring balance back to Winston Cup racing.
Here's wishing Inside Winston Cup Racing a happy 10th anniversary.
The IWCR mailbox is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Our question is from Tim Ornsby from Felton, Delaware. How many testing sessions are race teams allowed in a year, and how does NASCAR regulate them?
Hi, I'm Robin Pemberton, crew chief for the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, driven by Rusty Wallace. Our teams are allowed 7 3-day test sessions at Winston Cup racetracks throughout the years. Teams with rookie drivers are allowed 10 3-day test sessions throughout the year. Starting in Atlanta, at the end of the year in Atlanta, there's a testing ban in force until January 1 of the following year. Goodyear tire tests are not held against us as part of our testing days. Thank you for writing in.
If you have a question, write to us at Inside Winston Cup Racing, Box 240-417, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28224. If we use your question, you'll receive a Miller Genuine Draft Race Team Jacket and a copy of Speed Weeks 95, the official Daytona Speed Weeks commemorative book, signed by back-to-back Daytona 500 champion, Sterling Marlin.
Well, our time's up. We got to go. And thanks to Rusty Wallace, the folks at Miller Brewing Company, and to crew chief Robin Pemberton and his crew for allowing us to come in here. We're off to Pocono. Join us again here on TNN for more on Inside Winston Cup Racing.
Today's show has been brought to you by Texaco Clean System 3 Gasolines. Add more life to your car. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. And by Goodyear, #1 in racing, #1 in tires. Drivers, race teams, and race fans, don't get left out of the action. Order the 1995 Team Simpson catalog. Call 1-800-71-RACIN and join Team Simpson today. The official conversion van of Inside Winston Cup Racing is Gladiator by Glavelle, America's #1 luxury van. Glavelle, the way we put it together, sets us apart.